On today's show,
the Cavs and Wizards give us an absolute thriller, but hey, let's ask LeBron what he thinks about trading Love for Melo.
we discuss Jahlil Okafor rumors, if John Wall is the East's best point guard, and the TNT Crew's Pop-A-Shot strategy.
And 3D joins us live from Houston to set the table for tonight's Magic Rockets game.
It's Tuesday, February 7th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or later on YouTube, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Melis.
Thank you for joining our program.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lele. And last, certainly not least, over yonder, it's the bearded one, Straight Kirby.
Hey-o!
TK, what do you got, man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters, and I don't know if y'all realized it, but checking an imaginary watch is the go-to celebration in the NBA right now. It started back in 2014 when Damian Lillard introduced us to Lillard time, but this season, the king in the fourth, Isaiah Thomas, has started checking his watch, and last night, the Wizards' John Wall showed us his fake watch, which looks exactly like Damian Lillard's. Now, this all led Sports Illustrated's Ben Golliver to tweet out who wore it best, along with a picture of the three guys wearing their watches. And on this morning's Starters Twitter show, we asked that question to our fans, and 40% of them think Isaiah Thomas is the best watch wearer in the league. Now, all of this brings us to today's question. Is it okay to steal a celebration? Because there's no doubt about it. This is Damian Lillard's celebration. He's been doing it, like I said, since the 2014-15 season, whereas Thomas and Wall just started doing it this year. Personally, I think it's okay as long as you cite your sources. You gotta give Dame a little bit of credit, but we wanna hear from you, so let us know on Twitter, is it okay to steal a celebration? Because Isaiah Thomas did. Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, let's hear from the people out there. Hashtag the starters. Okay, got a fun show tonight. Got the up-down report, and we'll talk to Dennis Scott. Uncle Splash 3D is in Houston to get a set for tonight's Magic Rockets game. But we start with a little Is This News? Trey's rounded up some juicy NBA headlines. He's going to pitch them to us. We'll determine whether or not they're actually news. Because remember, not all news is real news, because fake news is now also news, but it shouldn't be news. TK, our first headline.
Yeah, hard to keep it straight. The first headline comes from Yahoo Sports, and it says, LeBron on report he's pushing Love for Melo trade. It's trash. Is this news?
What do you think?
Yeah, it's not a trade that LeBron James wants. I do believe that, because LeBron James is a traditionalist. He knows how this game works. He knows it takes years of chemistry to make a championship team happen. You had Kevin Love there for 2+ years now. You got the best Kevin Love. Why would you trade him right now when LeBron James is on the other side of 30 to take a couple years to get acclimated with Melo? I do believe that this rumor is trash. I do think LeBron went a little too far in calling Frank Isola trash, the man who reported this. That's too far. I know LeBron is currently the sheriff, and you can't throw any trash around him without him giving you a quick citation. But I think the sheriff went a little too far in this instance. Maybe the rumor is trash, but trashing Frank Isola I think is a little too much.
I like the way, though, LeBron dismissed it completely. So the door is not open at all. There was no humming and hawing. There was no hesitation. He said, no, not going to happen. Because if he did want it to happen, it would have happened by now, I think. I truly believe that. And if the Cavs didn't win the championship last year, then yes, it's plausible that this could be something that they would consider.
Sure.
But we've seen it now for too long that Kevin Love has found his role in Cleveland, and the Cavs love it. He was fantastic for them in the finals last year. He's been great this year, returning to the All-Star game. It just makes no sense why you would trade a younger guy for an older guy who is LeBron's friend, but he's just not the same sort of player that Kevin Love is and plays the same role that Love does for the Cavs.
What's unfortunate is that this is sort of the headline today and not that Cavs-Wizards instant classic, which is what it was. That was one of the best games, definitely, of the year, going into overtime, and the Cavs picking up the 140-135 victory. Shot after shot. I mean, LeBron fouls out and Kyrie takes over in overtime. You had so many stars on the floor. That should be the news, but it's this, and LeBron had to address it, I get it. But it's just funny, on the night where Love goes for 39 and 12, and Melo, 26, 3 and 5 in a Knicks loss to the Lakers, it's just sort of like, if you think that Melo helps the Cavs' chances to get to the finals and beat the Warriors in a hypothetical third round, then sure, maybe you would think this is the right move. But outside of that, there's no way at this point in their career that you would one-for-one swap Melo for Love. You just wouldn't. Love is the better basketball player, probably right now, and indefinitely being younger, is still going to continue to be.
Well, let's write our own headlines. That was an incredible game. And the Washington Wizards, I think, got to feel confident coming out of that game because they feel like, hey, we can hang with this team.
They were home until LeBron hit that incredible shot. I mean,
yeah.
they were up 3 points with, 2.5 seconds to go, and then LeBron hits one of those amazing shots that only a guy like him can hit. So, yeah, the Wizards must feel that they are a real legitimate chance now.
That was awesome game. All right, next headline, Trey.
All right, our next headline comes from NBA.com, and it reads, Kings cousin suspended 1 game for 16th technical. Is this news?
Oh, boy.
It's not news.
It's a lot of text.
Why?
It's not news because that's his 16th tech. Last year, he had 17. The year before, 15. The year before, 16. The year before, 17. The year before, 13. That was a
It's
light
February
year.
7th.
The year before
let me
that,
check my
15.
watch.
That was his rookie year.
It's
I mean,
February
that's all he
7th.
does. So what?
This is the fastest guy since
Yeah.
we've implemented this 16 tech suspension rule. Fastest guy to ever get there by a month.
Yeah, he'll
Well,
slow- he'll
congratulations,
slow her down.
I guess.
I mean, it's just, we know. That's 7 full years. This is his 7th season. We know he gets technical fouls. He started his career with 15. This is who he is. It's not changing.
This is the problem. The Kings right now 3.5 games back of Denver for 8th place in the playoffs. They need their best players on the floor at all times. He automatically misses.
Especially Cousins.
He automatically misses 1 game. Now, for every 2 techs from now on, he also misses another game. So, projecting him out throughout the season, he's probably going to get 20 to 25 techs along there, and he may miss 4 or 5 games just through disciplinary reasons.
And there are good techs, I think, and there are bad techs. Those were bad techs, both of them that Cousins got last night. The one comes in there he comes into a huddle there where guys are chirping, obviously pushes an assistant coach on the other team, and then the other one at the end of the game. Now he's upset, I get it, that he thought Wade grabbed his jersey and he did, got away with it. But then they come down, and then he's upset that there's no foul called on the shot with 1 second left in the game. Like, both of these techs were totally avoidable and completely useless. And now here he is hurting his team's chances to maybe make the playoffs on a team that he's never done that. That's crazy.
It is unfortunate, yeah. And I don't think Matt Barnes has been sort of the influence that they thought he would be. That every team signs Matt Barnes, they think, he's the bad cop and will help us out in the locker room. That really hasn't worked out. You saw that incident there with Jim Boylan. Obviously, things were boiling there with but there's no need to grab a guy like that. An assistant coach, I don't see what. Listen, the anger's there. I don't think that's going anywhere. That's a part of who he is.
I've heard some people say today, though, in addressing this, he's just continuing to grow. He's 26 years old. DeMarcus Cousins is a man. I mean, he's old. He's not a 19-year-old kid.
He's not 40. He's not a man. He's
he's
not
not
40.
as old as Lee Ellis. No one is. But
I haven't got as many tech fouls as him.
Vince Carter is.
I don't think that works anymore. This guy's been around for a long time.
this
He's
is the
obviously an
problem.
unbelievable talent, but
As the leader
growing.
of-
What do you you got to chill out.
Yeah, as the leader of the team, you can't afford to cost your team potentially games when you're in such a tight playoff race.
Yeah, for sure. All right, final headline, Trey.
Final headline comes from Philly.com, and it says, reports Sixers in talks to trade Okafor to Pelicans. Is this news?
Not really.
No, this is
Why not?
Well,
I
they've been
don't
trying to
think-
trade him basically since he got there.
Yeah, it's not-
And
it's
now
not new news.
with the explosion from Joel Embiid and obviously Nerlens as well, there's just too many. There's not enough playing time for all these guys. His minutes are down drastically. Okafor from last season, his production is down. The good news though for the Sixers is they should get a decent package in return because there's a lot of interest out there for Okafor. So I think they're probably just going to hold on right now until they get the best offer. Maybe a draft pick, maybe a couple of draft picks.
Do you think you'll get a lottery pick?
It's
Jaleel
possible,
Okafor?
absolutely, yeah.
You
I mean,
think so?
if again, a lot of this stuff is unsubstantiated rumours, but if there's 7 or 8 teams vying for him, then yes, the market
think
price
chances
goes
are
up.
high.
Of course it
Because
does.
that was the report that there are 8 teams interested in Jaleel Okafor, so that in theory drives the price up. I think from the Pelican side of things, for a lot of reasons, it doesn't make sense because he's an offensive player. He doesn't really play the D, and then that's a bit of a problem on that team. Put him beside Anthony Davis at the center spot. You're just going to have a slow center, and he doesn't really fit the Alvin Gentry mode of shooting the 3-ball. That being said, you take a chance on a guy who's 21 years old in his second year, who hasn't played a lot of basketball. You take a chance, whether it's a protected pick, and you see how it works out down the road. Maybe his ceiling is a backup center in this league, like a Zach Randolph or Greg Monroe we're getting right now. Maybe that's his ceiling.
So
but
you think as long as the pick is not obviously too low or too well.
I mean, yeah, you try and make it the best situation for your team. That being said, let's say it's a 15th pick. Are you going to get a better player than Jaleel Okafor at 15?
Maybe.
Or if it's a lottery protected pick?
Yeah,
maybe.
tough to say,
But, I mean, Jaleel Okafor, There's a reason he was picked so high.
Well, let's hear what people think. Would you trade like an Ajinça and maybe a late first-round pick, be it 2018 or 2017, for Okafor? Okay, when we come back, Wall, Kyrie, Lowry, there's others. We'll debate who is the best point guard in the East. Don't go anywhere. Back with the starters, right into the Up-Down Report, where we figure out where we stand on some hot-button NBA topics. We ask you to do the same on Twitter, hashtag the starters, thumbs up or thumbs down. First one, before last night's epic game between the Cavs and the Wizards, the guys on Inside discussed who is the best point guard in the East. Now, Chuck ultimately went with John Wall over Kyrie Irving and Isaiah Thomas and others, calling Wall the more complete player. Shaq ended up agreeing. Great game from Wall, obviously in the loss in overtime there, but are you guys up or down on Wall being the best point guard in the East like Chuck and Shaq say he is?
I agree.
I disagree.
Wow.
I disagree, but this is tough.
I think he legitimately makes his teammates better, more so than Kyrie Irving. He's also a better
Okay.
defender than Kyrie Irving or than a Kyle Lowry, who should be part of this conversation. Isaiah's part of this conversation. He is just a better all-round player. He's done more on his own than Kyrie Irving ever did before LeBron James. Kyrie never made the postseason without Bron. John Wall has been there, done that, because I think he does make his teammates better overall. Obviously, clutchness goes to Kyrie and to Isaiah Thomas, but you got to pick one for, the team that you have. It's John Wall.
And we saw that clutchness, though, last night because LeBron fouled out and the Cavs were down 4. Kyrie stepped up and led his team to victory, scored 11 of their 20 points, got an assist on the other one, hit the dagger, hit the free throws as well.
Yeah.
So you're taking Kyrie?
I'm taking Kyrie. and look, I do love watching Kyrie the most out of all those guys to play because he's got incredible skills and incredible offensive versatility. I accept his defense is not the same level as John Wall, but as far as an offensive player carrying his team to the victory, we saw it last night under pressure. He did it.
Yeah, Wall, I think, is probably playing the most, or playing the best right now. And like they said, he's probably still the most complete, but I don't think he's the best guy on either side of the ball from these 4 point guards we're really talking about. I think Thomas and Kyrie are better offensively. I think Lowry's better defensively.
Yeah.
If you put them together, maybe you can talk yourself into being the best, but I would take one of Lowry or Irving or Thomas, honestly, over John Wall.
Yeah, I go with Lowry. Yeah, it's one of these questions that it's like whatever team is sort of the hottest at the moment, you can make the case for, be it a Lowry, if obviously earlier in the season when the Raps had it going, they've cooled off. Now it's Wall because the Wizards have been amazing over the last 2 months. It's like one of those things. And Isaiah Thomas, like Kyrie, I don't even consider really the point guard of the Cavs.
Sure.
That's LeBron. That's LeBron. And I know Kyrie took over last night, but he's not really the point guard. LeBron runs the offense.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree about that.
Well, okay, well, we disagree on this one. That's why we're doing it. Let's hear from the people out there. Next one. Vince Carter turned 40 less than 2 weeks ago. So on Monday night, he celebrated against the Spurs by hosting a block party. He hit some circus shots, which was nice, but he became just the 5th 40-year-old in NBA history to block 4 or more shots in a game. Guys, up or down on Vince Carter being the best 40-year-old player of all time? Oh, I thought I would get somebody with it.
He's only been 40 for less than 2 weeks. Let's let him at least finish the season as a 40-year-old before we put him on the Mount Rushmore of 40-year-olds.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the starting center on a championship team at 40. He was a 2-time All-Star at 40. He was still putting up pretty good numbers, but knowing how athletic Vince is, seeing him out there last night, you can still kind of see the shadows of what he used to do. But
Yeah, maybe the most exciting 40-year-old player.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it has to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for me.
Has to be? What about Jordan? I mean, Jordan turned like Vince. He was 39 and then turned 40 that season, right around this time, I believe. I think he shared a birthday with you, didn't he?
That's close. So we
Closer,
share a
yeah.
due date, but I was late.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Mom.
He did play. He had a
Sure,
very good
due
season for his 40s,
Yeah.
for sure.
He was
But
putting
Kareem was
26
beyond
and
40.
5.
Kareem was like well into his 40s.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Who do you go with?
Yeah. Listen,
I'm more like Jordan, just in my 40s.
up on Vince and what he's doing because, I mean, just to I don't want to do this to Vince.
Yeah.
It's just rude, but it's a recency bias to say that Vince is having the best season of a 40-year-old. He's averaging 8 points per game on 39% shooting. And those All-Star appearances for Kareem, as good as he was, they were a little bit of a, hey, you're an all-star. At the end, 10 points a game, you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
So you get to be an all-star. He wasn't one of the best 12 at that point.
And Jordan
But
actually
still.
maybe shouldn't even count because he took off
couple of
by
years.
that point, like
Yeah.
almost 4 years up to the,
Yeah.
he was gone for the baseball and he was retired.
Kareem played 74 games, I think, as a 41-year-old and started
that's
in every
nuts.
single one
That
of them.
is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the machine that is
convinced me.
Karl Malone deserves a little bit of recognition too.
He's in the mix. All right, final one here, guys. Back to Inside the NBA. They played a little Papa Shot last night, and while Kenny ran away with the victory, it was Ernie Johnson's bank shot form that got our producer Matty O all fired up. Apparently, Matt is convinced he wastes valuable time going off the glass. I mean, it seemed to be working pretty good for Ernie there, but are you guys up or down on banking home Papa Shot shots? Yeah. What is Matty
they
O
went
talking
in.
about?
I don't know why this is a topic.
Yeah.
He was burying the shots.
The thing is, with Papa Shot, the ring is not proportionate to a normal ring and ball.
Here we go.
Right?
Of course
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's totally
So-
different.
No, right. So you have so it's not the same. So what you have to do is you have to find a strategy that works. Throwing them off the backboard is a very, very smart strategy.
Yeah, he
Matt-
shot an
Matt-
incredible percentage.
Natty O in my ear is saying, yeah, but Ernie got the worst score. Ernie's the one guy that's not a former NBA player
He got a-
of that bunch.
The only
I mean,
problem with his form is that he was taking so long in between shots. The other guys are just chucking them up, which
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
how most people play Papa Shot.
Yeah.
But when you're going for that accurate
Hey, hold on, he beat
off the glass.
Ernie Johnson beat Chuck.
Okay, well,
Chuck,
there you
Chuck
go.
had the
Tied
worst.
him,
They
I guess,
tied,
eh?
but then they had a shoot off.
Yeah, yeah.
Ernie won
glass.
the shoot off.
I think you go with like the Tim Duncan, just get it up on the rim,
Yeah.
let it fall in there.
Speed.
Yeah,
It's
just
all about
multiple
speed.
shots, exactly. All right, let's hear from the people out there. Quick break. When we come back, 3D joins us live from Houston to set up tonight's Magic Rockets game. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. Magic Rockets on NBA TV's Fan Night this evening. To let us know what's going on in Houston, it's DZ 3D. Dennis Scott, what's going on, 3D?
All is good. The weather's nice, and it's funny that coming to Houston, I didn't really like coming here because I'm having flashback to 1995. So let's talk about something else.
Ew, gross. Yeah, let's change that topic real quick. Now, the Rockets are playing well this year, coming out of the gate. They're on pace for about 15 more wins than last season, and part of it is Mike D'Antoni. He's known for empowering his guys, giving guys confidence, and that started with his best player, James Harden. And you asked the Beard about that conversation he had with Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, such a great point. We know D'Antoni's system is about being open, being free, and James Harden's a perfect guy for that. And I asked James, how did you feel when Coach said he's moving you to point guard? Coach D'Antoni said, you're the point guard. No more two guard. You're the man. How did that make you feel when you said, you know what, I'm finally a point?
It's a lot of responsibility, but I'm built for it. So, point guard, you're stripping in the basketball, you're being unselfish, obviously, and I got to score as well. So, it's a 50-50 chance on what you got to do, but it's all basketball instincts. It's all feel for the game, and I don't really overthink it. Just go out there and hoop, man.
Yeah, James is obviously rolling with those responsibilities. Talk about him being MVP. There's talk about Mike D'Antoni being Coach of the Year. And despite all that, in terms of talking about teams that are at the top of the league, that goes to the Cavs and the Warriors. Do you think this Rockets team feels like they're a little bit underestimated in this league?
Maybe a little bit, guys, and here's why. We've never seen D'Antoni's system get all the way to the finals. We've seen him score. We've seen him get out of round 1 and round 2 back when he's with Phoenix. So people are questioning, can James Harden continue to be a great leader and make guys around him better? You see Eric Gordon finally healthy. His name's in the hunting for Sixth Man of the Year. Ryan Anderson shooting the blood out of the basketball. People are questioning, can they still play this style when the playoffs get here?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be very interesting. What's also going to be very interesting, next Saturday night, the slam dunk contest, you talked to the favorite, Aaron Gordon. Did you get any scoops, any little tidbits, what we're going to see from Mr. Aaron Gordon?
Yeah, I was trying to plead with him, guys. I said, come on, Aaron, we've seen a lot that you've done. What can you give us? And I said, a lot of people are saying you're just a dunker. And he says, I don't care what people say, but listen to the rest. You've shown us so much. What's left in there? Give me something. Give me something that gives us look forward to.
I'm always going to be innovative in my dunks, because the dunk contest got dry for a second. People kept doing the dunks, same
old
dunks.
stuff.
Right. So I'm always be innovative.
He's keeping it under wraps. He's keeping
Smart,
it under
smart.
wraps, 3D. Now, I know you were in the three-point contest a couple of times. Did you ever get invited to the dunk contest yourself?
Yeah, but when I was dunking some donuts, that's the only thing I was
All right, 3D, we'll see you tonight on Fan Night. Thanks so much for doing this.
Always, guys.
All right, 3D, Dennis Scott in Houston tonight for NBA TV's Magic Rockets game. Stay tuned after the break. We've got a very solid play for you.
We asked you, is it okay to steal a celebration like we've seen IT and Wall take Lillard? Checking the old watch there. You've chimed in on Twitter, hashtag Starters. Trey, you got some answers.
Yeah, this one comes from Marcus Jones, who says, not in the pros. With the creativity in the NBA these days, everyone should have their own thing. Fair enough. Slice Man says, of course you can steal inspirations. It inspires kids to make more celebrations when they get to the league. I guess. Noah says, I don't know, Trey. I would say no, it's not okay, but you stole James Harden's beard swag. Okay, I guess I've changed my mind. You can steal celebrations. Ewan says, can you imagine if Melo did the LeBron stomp? If you make a signature celebration, it should be yours. That's
true.
how I really feel.
That is true.
But the best take came from Omar, who says, I want to see them do it in the same game. Fourth quarter,
Dueling watches.
dueling watches. One's checking an Apple Watch, one's checking a Samsung device.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a fossil on their arm.
Wow, that'd be cool.
It'd be crazy.
Cool.
All right, guys. Tonight's pick 'em play. It's the Blazers and Mavs. It's on League Pass. Trey, Lee, and myself taking the Blazers on the road. Tassie, who's been on fire over the last little while. Only guy taking the Mavs, so good luck. Lee, where are we going?
Out to Detroit for a beautiful play from the Sixers. It's Dario Saric with a beautiful feed down to Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot. Yeah.
What is that, wine?
I hope you have some cheese with that name.
A very solid name.
We had a blast on the Twitter show this morning. Shout out to everyone joining us live. We got it up on iTunes and Google Play, the audio. We talked Cavs Wiz, got into Fan Night's Go-To Move tournament, and we had a heated debate about fruit. Here's a clip.
I don't trust apples. No way.
Why?
Because you
What
can't.
does
You
an
can't.
apple ever do to you?
No, because they can really hide their bruises too well. Sometimes you can be biting away on an apple and all of a sudden you're like, oh, and there's a big soft
You don't think
spot
of bananas the same way?
there. No, bananas, no. They're
I'm
more honest.
sorry I
You
said
can see
anything
it through
bad
the
about
skin.
bananas.
Yeah.
What?
You can. Of course
You've
you
never
can.
opened a banana and there's been brown spots on it, and you're like, I didn't expect that.
Brown spots? What do you mean? Maybe there's a
Brown
bruised
spots?
area.
What do you mean?
There's a bruised area.
What
Seen
do
a
I
banana
mean?
with a
You've never
bruise?
seen a banana before?
No, I've seen one with a bruise. I'm not saying they don't get bruised. I'm saying they don't hide them like apples do.
Starters Twitter show. Come for the NBA talk, stay for the fruit.
Can't
All
trust
right.
apples.
Lily, we got some fan signs.
Yes, the first one comes from Sandra, who says, a German and a Swede at their first NBA game in Boston. Great job there. Sean T came for a win and a wedgie and got both last week there.
Too bad
That
we
was,
can't see
that
it
was
on the sign.
fantastic. Kirby and his bud in OKC's put a fan sign and
Light
their
it
own
up.
wedgie board as well. Fantastic.
Nice
this,
work.
this is not a fan sign. This is just a very weird fan shirt from Kyle. It says pretty cool, pretty weird, and it's my photo on there.
Sweet pose.
Bootleg shirts.
Brennan and his son at the Globetrotters game in Utah last night.
Nice.
Very good job there. Kieran at an NBL game in Australia in Melbourne.
Wow.
Again, hey, look, they're creative, our fans. Fantastic. Oh, yes, last one. Jessie Dabler says her boyfriend got her tickets to a game for Christmas.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks.
Breaks the night, people. Keep those signs coming.